Hi, everybody. It's Saturday. Well, I'm sure you guys are all aware of that. And I just want to say hello and welcome you all to my business page. And first of all, I want to welcome our very special guest that we have today. She's a really good friend of mine and a fellow business owner and the actual person who got me into this business. So Jolie's actually my mentor. So welcome, Jolie.
Thank you. Good to be here.
How's your Saturday going?
Oh, I'm doing renos, so we're trying to get that done.
Wow.
Every
And what are you
weekend
guys
seems
working
to be
on?
filled with like painting or something like that. But
Oh man.
yeah,
But you guys are close to being finished, right?
yeah, and it's good. It's good.
N-
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Just so you guys know, Jolie and I have known each other for a very long time. How long do you think,
I
Joe?
think we met in 2005.
Okay. Yeah. So
Close to
15,
15 years.
16 years now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a long
And
time.
it has been a long time. It doesn't feel that long though.
Yeah.
So we met actually in Bermuda. We were both living in Bermuda at the time, and my boyfriend slash ex-husband now worked with Jolie's boyfriend at a company there. And so when you live on a island like that and you're an expat, you tend to become really good friends with the people that you get close to, and they almost become your family. So
Yeah.
yeah, Jolie and I have known each other for a very, very long time, and I'm so grateful to have her as my business partner. So, Jolie, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so like Laurie said, I lived in Bermuda for 17 years. I recently moved back to Canada. I started a family in Bermuda, and I was lucky enough to stay at home with my kids, which was nice, so I didn't have to work. And then we moved back here about a year ago, and I had to start working. So I didn't want to go back to full time, and plus I'd been out of my career for a long time. My career was in architecture and I wanted to be with my kids. So I thought a business would be the way to go. Um, yeah, so I am a stay-at-home mom. I do work part-time and I'm the primary parent, so I do mostly take care of the kids. But yeah, married with a family, 2 dogs, 2 kids, house that's being renovated, work, business, so pretty busy.
You've got a lot going on, as
Yeah, a
always,
lot. Yeah, but
and
that's
two
okay.
dogs, and two
Yeah,
dogs.
yeah. They're my sanity. Here's one right here.
There's Dexter.
Yeah,
Hi,
always by
Dexter.
my side.
Right. So just so you guys know, when we lived in Bermuda, incomes are great in Bermuda, but expenses are super high. Um, Jolie moved back to Vancouver, where expenses are still super high, and income's not so much. So
Yeah.
it's really hard to stay home with your children and still be able to afford a decent lifestyle. So what made you start the online business?
Well, I knew that wanted to have my own business because that would provide flexibility and, probably hopefully time with my kids. So started looking around, and I could have worked part-time. I could have went back to my career, but then I'd be working full-time and I didn't want to do that. So, yeah, I just started looking for a business, and who doesn't want to work from home? An online business is definitely the way to go. Nowadays, obviously, lots of people are working from home, but you're working for somebody else and your job's not guaranteed. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the big thing I think we've learned a lot of through the pandemic is we have been, those of us who are still lucky to have jobs, are working from home. I've been working from home ever since March of last year, essentially. Prior to the pandemic hitting, I actually traveled probably 2 weeks out of every month for my job. And now I've been at home the whole entire time. But like Jolie said, I'm working for somebody else. And, I lost income during the pandemic and it affected everybody. So I was really, really grateful that you introduced me to this business. It's something that, right at this point in time, it's not enough to actually quit my full-time job, but that's
Yeah.
what we're working towards, or what I'm
Well,
working towards.
That's the glory of this business too. You can do it part-time. You can do it whenever you want. I mean, it is what you make it, because it is a business. So you put in
Exactly.
your time, and eventually, you can be a job quitter.
Yeah, there's so many of them in our community as well, which is when you become part of the of our community, you actually are invited into a group, a private Facebook group that we have, that where everybody shares their success stories. You learn about what everybody else is doing in the business. There's over 70,000 members in our community, which is amazing. So you hear from people from all different walks of life, all different past professions, all different types of marital status, single, married, with children, without children. So it's there's so many different
And
types of people doing this.
global, right?
Yeah, exactly. Very
Anywhere.
global. Anywhere in the world. I think we've got members from almost every country in the world that I'm aware of anyways.
Yeah.
So when you had mentioned to me before that you wanted to run your own business or whichever. What other sorts of businesses did you look at before
Well,
you decided to?
I was looking at franchises specifically because I don't have a lot of experience in business. My husband does, and I would rely on him for support, but I wanted to do it on my own. So I thought franchise would be perfect because everything's already set up for you. You just have to learn the business. And I did look into a few. I actually met with a couple of them, and it seemed great, but it was also like 12-hour days to begin with. And then COVID happened and a bunch of other stuff. And it could have happened still with another business, but I didn't want to invest that much time in the beginning because my kids are still little. And then I found this business, which is like a franchise, really. It's got everything set up for you. It's got step-by-step training, it's got education, it's got a community, it's got support, it's got mentors, it's got everything you need to run a successful business from home on your own time.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the big thing that you hit on there, right? Like it, and as you know as well, I ran a grocery store for 7 or 8 years, and we all have this idea that running your own business and being your own boss in a brick and mortar type environment is going to be like the greatest thing ever. But
Yeah.
like you said, when you're starting out, you're working 12-hour days, and I know with my business, I was working at least 12-hour days, and during the summertime, which was our busiest season, it was 7 days a week. So
Yeah.
you are your
Well, I
own
remember
boss, but you're a
you couldn't
Go ahead.
join us for trips because you
No,
couldn't leave.
no, I couldn't go anywhere.
You
Like
couldn't go
between the
anywhere. I'm
months.
like, come on, just take some time off. And you're like, I can't. But with this business, you can take it with you. So you could actually do it from your phone.
Exactly. And that's the most awesome thing, is anywhere you have internet access, you can be working on your business. So, I'm looking forward to us after COVID being able to plan an amazing
Yes.
trip.
And we'll just be both working on our phones, but also have a drink in our hand at the same time.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So to your point also about starting or looking at franchises and stuff like that, can you talk a little bit about what the startup costs would have been if you would have started like a
Oh,
brick and
yeah.
mortar franchise?
Well, the one I was looking at wasn't too bad. It was like 30,000. That's not too bad, but it could go to millions. Just depends on which one you're looking at. But definitely the lowest one was 30,000.
Yeah, and then when you look at the return on investment, like everybody knows that generally when you start a business, a brick and mortar business, even though you think you're going to start making money immediately, when you have an initial investment of anywhere for $30,000 and up, it's going to take a long time before you see any return on investment, which is something that I think both attracted Jolie and I to this business. Is your startup costs are minimal, and the return on investment that you can see from this is way better, like much, much, much better.
Yeah. With not as much effort, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So how much time do you think you devote to your business on an hourly or a weekly basis?
Well, before we moved and started doing the renos, I was able to put in as much time as I wanted. But now I'm probably spending a couple hours a day,
Okay,
or
yeah, because you're
anytime I can fit it in addition to the couple hours, I'll work on it. So
well,
yeah,
that's That's the nice thing about it too, right? Because you are managing a super busy life. Like you said, you have 2 small kids, you have a husband, you have 2 dogs, you guys are renovating a house,
Mhm.
and you're also doing other part-time work plus running this business on the side. So
Yeah. Yeah.
this is something you can fit in whenever you have a
Whenever.
few
I usually do a little bit in the morning, and then when the kids go to bed, I'll hop on and I'll do some then, or any chance I get really, or if I get a thought in my head, I'll, go in, just do a little work. It's
And
very
then
flexible.
when your friends ask you to join them on Saturdays for a go live.
That too. Then I'll just go put my paint overalls back on and back at it.
Nice. So, what do you like most about this business?
Definitely the flexibility. The community is amazing. The education and the training is phenomenal. I've learned so much. I love that I didn't need to know anything to start. I just had to follow the training and everything was laid out. I love that there's support when you need it. And yeah, it was a small investment for a home business. Like,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
exactly what I was looking for.
Well, and I echo that sentiment, especially about the training and everything. I know I've mentioned this a few times on my business page, but none of us were used to working in the online space before. Like we really had no idea what attraction marketing consisted of, how it works, anything like that. And really, what our goal is to attract people like you guys to wanting to do something like this as well. And with the training that's provided, and I've talked about these our weekly masterminds before, and Jolie and I were talking about this morning before this, but the masterminds are amazing. Like you just learn so much, and then you can also refer back to the step-by-step training, which you have access to continually. So we both started with zero technology
Yeah.
experience, did no marketing background whatsoever.
And to be fair, I was skeptical because I don't have any experience and it's an online business and you're like, yeah, okay, right? But no, it's not like that at all. I've learned so much. I feel confident in my business and, it's exactly what I was looking for.
Awesome. Well, and I wasn't so skeptical about this business. I feel like I was really lucky because uh, Julie and I both started our digital businesses back in the summer. She started a couple months before I did, and she was actually out visiting me and started talking about what she's doing and showed me a little bit about it and talked to me a little bit about it. And because I had this amazing recommendation from somebody that I trust, I was more than willing to dive right in. But I know that a lot of people are super skeptical about this, and I can completely relate. Not only because you're working online, you're diving into something that's completely different, but you're getting into this business really because you saw an ad that one of us would have posted somewhere on
Yep.
social media. So I guess the big thing that I like to tell people, and I've had people ask me this, like, is this really a real business? And yes, it is. Like
Yeah.
T4s were issued for everybody working in Canada just recently. Like they were all sent out. So you do pay taxes. You do have to, report all of that income that you're making. So it really is a business. Absolutely.
Yeah. But on the flip side, you can, write off a lot of that stuff too, because it is your business. You're not relying on an employer to do all that for you. You get some
Yeah, and
benefits for having a home business for sure.
that's a good point. And I'm glad that you brought it up because all of your expenses with running a business can always be used as a write-off, which means that maybe, you get better tax returns, if
Yeah.
any at all. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, awesome. So just the last question, Julie, what advice do you have for people that sort of are thinking about joining us in starting an online business?
Um, I guess know that this is a business. It's not a get rich quick, thing. You will have to work at it because it is a business. It's like any business. You have to put effort into it. And if you're that type of person and you want a better life. You want more income. You want to replace your full-time income. You want to be a job quitter, whatever it is. You want to travel more. You want to, work while traveling. This is a perfect business for you, but it is a business. So you have to keep that in mind, that you will have to work at it like anything. But, it's a great business to be in. I mean, you can be so successful in this.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, like, I know, yes, you do have to work at it, but you don't have to work a lot of hours at
No,
it.
that's
Like,
true. Yes, sorry.
you know, so
That's
like
true.
Jolie, like I work full time, so I devote, I would say maybe 3 to 4 hours a week on this business. And with all the tools and stuff that you're provided, like you can pre-schedule things, like post to your Facebook, anything like that. So devoting 2 to 3 to 4 hours a week to a business, which can earn you a really unlimited income, even if you're wanting to start out earning a couple $1,000s more a month or $3,000 more a month. I know I've mentioned this before, but if you were to go out and get a part-time job making $15 an hour, you're not going to be able to earn the income you want in 3 to 4 hours a week.
No, not at all.
No.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me today, Jolie. I know you have a busy day, so I'm going to let you go back to
Thanks for
peace.
having me. It was fun.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. And I want to say thank you to everybody that took the time to watch our Go Live today, and also to the people that are watching the replay. If you have any questions at all or anything like that, like, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Jolie. You can see Jolie's website below her picture of her pretty face there, and mine as well. So if you guys want to register to watch, we have a webinar that runs twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And what happens on the webinar, it's about 90 minutes long, and it talks a little bit about what it takes to start a digital business. You'll hear from other business owners in the community talking about why they started a digital business, how long they've been running their digital business, what successes they've seen from their digital business. So it's a really good introduction, rather than just hearing from us what we talk about, from others as to why they love having this business and being a part of this community. So again, I just want to say thanks to everybody.
It
Go
also
ahead.
talks about like the fundamentals of an online business, and what's required, and what it's a very informative and valuable information.
Yeah,
and it's free.
And it's free. Yeah, exactly. Good point. Awesome. Okay, well, thanks again, Jolie. Have a great afternoon. And to all of you guys watching the replay, I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day, and we'll hope to talk to you again soon.